You've got it locked to the HBCU Football Daily Podcast for today, Wednesday, September the 7th. I'm Donald Ware. It's the Hump Day edition of the HBCU Football Daily Podcast. So, had a chance to catch up with former South Carolina State All-American and Philadelphia Eagles Pro Bowler Javon Hargrave, one of the best defensive tackles in the National Football League, had perhaps his best season, or at least certainly one of his best seasons in the NFL in 2021, as he was named to the Pro Bowl, and had a chance to catch up with Javon Hargrave to talk with him so far about his career in the National Football League, as well as about his time at South Carolina State.
Sit by myself, talking to the moon.
You've got it locked to the HBCU Football Daily Podcast for today, Wednesday, September the 7th. I'm Donald Ware. It's the Hump Day edition of the HBCU Football Daily Podcast. So, had a chance to catch up with former South Carolina State All-American and Philadelphia Eagles Pro Bowler Javon Hargrave, one of the best defensive tackles in the National Football League, had perhaps his best season, or at least certainly one of his best seasons in the NFL in 2021, as he was named to the Pro Bowl, and had a chance to catch up with Javon Hargrave to talk with him so far about his career in the National Football League, as well as about his time at South Carolina State. We're going to keep things moving here on the program. We're joined by a gentleman in his 7th season in the National Football League, currently with the Philadelphia Eagles, a former third-round pick by the Steelers in the 2016 NFL Draft. He made the Pro Bowl for the Eagles on last year. The former two-time Box to Row Willie Davis Defensive Player of the Year out of South Carolina State is Javon Hargrave, who joins us here on the program. What's going on, Javon? It's been a while, man. Welcome back to the program.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Can't complain. Just grinding it out, getting ready for the season.
Man, you've been grinding it out. I mean, let's talk about last year. I mean, it was your first Pro Bowl. You grinded, as you mentioned, grinded it out. 7.5 sacks on the season, 63 tackles for loss, and all of that. I mean, you just had a really good season. 2 games, you sacked the quarterback twice, including against Atlanta and Matt Ryan. Then you had a playoff sack against Tom Brady. Your thoughts on your season last year?
No, it was one of my better years in the NFL. I feel like last year I just kind of put it all together, and with my training and my getting ready for the season and just everything I just kind of had in order, and it just had me having an unbelievable year last year. So it was just a different type of grind.
Yeah, which led to the Pro Bowl. I know that had to be exciting for you, being able to make the Pro Bowl for the first time in your career, even though you had been putting in the work. I mean, you've been one of the best interior linemen in the National Football League since your rookie year, and it finally paid off making your first Pro Bowl.
Yeah, it's one of the things. Sometimes it's hard to get recognition playing in that inside like that, but it was just, I guess that's kind of the reasons we put in all the work, is just to get recognized as one of the best at our position. So last year it was a great feeling, really addicting feeling. So that's all the work being towards this year, is just trying to get that feeling again, being recognized as one of the best to do it.
Yeah, you were able to get it done. Talk about 2020. I think the last time we talked may have been 2019, so your last year in Pittsburgh. But your thoughts on 2020 and trying to, it's a new team, it's a new situation, and you're looking to kind of adapt a bit, if you will.
I think 2020 was just, I guess, a weird year for all of us, because one, that's when COVID hit, and going to I was coming to a new team, and the big thing in COVID year was just being away from everybody. So I was coming to a new team and not being able to talk to my teammates, or not being able to bond through OTAs and practice with them. Then I came here, had a little nicked up, little injury in training camp, so I was really away and not being able to be with the teammates. So it was really a tough year the first year I got here. But during the season, it got a lot better just being able to bond with my teammates. And even last year just being more comfortable with everybody and being able to talk and, be around people. It just made it so much better. But, yeah, 2020 was pretty rough making that transition. But it is great now because I love my teammates and love my team, man. It's a lot better right now.
Yeah, it was just a matter more so of, part getting settled in, correct?
Yeah, it was a lot with settling in. Just going to a new, like you said, going to a new environment and not being able to really be close, like being told to stay away from everybody. I think that year I really didn't even know everybody's name on the team because it was more a virtual thing and not really being together. So it was definitely a tough time settling in my first year here.
Obviously, the National Football League is a business. Was it tough? At the time you signed with the Eagles, you were the highest paid interior lineman in the National Football League. Was it tough leaving the team that drafted you, or, is it just kind of how the business side of things work?
It was definitely tough to leave. Some of my friends, I was in Pittsburgh for 4 years, so it was definitely sad to leave and go, even though I didn't go far because I'm really
right.
I was away from Pittsburgh, but it was definitely sad leaving it. But I think you really understand the business, and you just got to do what you just got to do what you got to do from a business standpoint. But like I said, it was definitely rough that first year, but I think as time went and I got comfortable and, I got some really good guys over here that it made it a real better transition as time went.
Defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles, Javon Hargrave, Pro Bowler in 2021, former third-round pick by the Steelers in the 2016 National Football League draft, joins us here on the program. Speak to, you made the switch, right? You were wearing number 93. You made the switch to number 97. Those of us that saw you play at South Carolina State know that's the number that you wore there. Is that the reason you made the switch? And from a, psychological superstition standpoint, maybe that was part of the reason you maybe had statistically your best year ever.
Yeah, I've been trying to get that number since I got in the league. When I went to Pittsburgh, Cam had it. Cam Hayward had it all my years. It was not letting me get it. Then I came to the Eagles, and Malik Jackson had it at first. So last year was the first year I could actually get the number. And, yeah, that's how I was telling everybody, my parents and family, it's just what I did when I had this number on. So, of course, that's why I wanted to make the switch because, that was my better years in that 97, so I want to get back to it.
Man, I look up and obviously, followed you throughout the course of your time in the league and then, of course, at South Carolina State. But, I can't believe this is your 7th season. Does it feel like 6 years in the league and this is your 7th season? Does it feel like that?
It don't, because I just still remember being in South Carolina State so recent. It's just crazy that I done became a big vet in the league. But yeah, it's crazy. Even when I'm around some of the South Carolina State boys, the younger cats, when I go around, it's just crazy looking at that. I don't really know nobody on the team now. Like, there's nobody there that was there with me on the team now. So it's definitely crazy. I have to, I just wake up and I can't believe it's my 7th year in the NFL. Just feel like yesterday I was at South Carolina State and, getting in with them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle for the Eagles, joins us here in the program. Your thoughts? You guys made the playoffs, obviously, last year, made the switch to Jalen Hurts, who's obviously going to be the starting quarterback for the Eagles. What have you seen, from him in terms of his preparation for this upcoming season?
I think it's just his maturity of knowing, where to go with the ball. Just him growing every year and getting better. He's been more accurate. He's just, knowing his reads. I think that's what happened with every young player in the NFL. It's just every year you either grow or you stay the same. Well, not stay the same, or you get worse. But you can see him just keep climbing that mountain and keep getting better each year. And he looked a lot more comfortable this year.
No doubt. And then the addition of A.J. Brown at wide receiver, your thoughts? And then also, on the other side, Devontae Smith had a really good rookie season for you guys last year.
Yes, there's a lot of talent here. I think that's everywhere on our team. A.J. Brown, big receiver. It's hard for DBs to, one, he's fast, and he's a physical receiver. And when he gets the ball in his hand, it's like he's a running back. So it's definitely a lot of difficult for some of the smaller defensive backs to be able to even go or even tackle him. And Devontae's smooth. He's a great route runner. He always come to work too. He one of them ones that's really dedicated and addicted to working. So you can just see him getting better from last year to this year. So I'm real excited to see them boys work.
Yeah, and how good can this Eagles defense be?
I think we can be as good as we want to be. We know all the types that surrounded the team, but we know we got to come up and show up every day because the NFL, we got to show up every Sunday and send a message out to the league.
Yeah, a couple of more thoughts with Javon Hargrave here in the program. What do you remember most about those days at South Carolina State? And boy, you were just a dominant player, not just in the MEAC, but in FCS football as a whole.
It was some fun. It was some fun days. Second quarterback. I just remember that Bethune-Cookman game with having a 6-pack or just winning the meet with my teammates my second year there. Or just, it's just the grind going to South Carolina State, the winter condition or the summertime grind. I just remember all of that. And I think, just coming for South Carolina State just kind of gave me the hunger. One, just to, show out for HBCU and for them. And also just, and have when I was there and using all my resources.
Yeah, and then what does it mean to you to be kind of part of a renaissance of HBCU stars in the league? You got, yourself, Darius Leonard. There are others, but I would say that this started with you back in 2016. You were instantly a really good player when you stepped on the field initially with the Steelers.
Yeah, it was always. I remember when I went to, I can't remember the awards, not Box Row, but, the award, the National HBCU Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. I think I was sitting there talking to some of the vets, Doug Williams and stuff, and that was one of the things he was telling me before going in the league that, if I did bad, it was going to represent everybody, so I kind of kept that in my ear when I showed up to work, and really didn't want to let nobody down. So that was kind of my thing coming into the league, is just taking advantage and making, doing everything right and just keeping my head down and working.
Well, you tried to mention us. It's okay. We did come down in the Box to Row. We did come down and give you the award. We did.
I remember y'all too. I remember it all.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that was your junior year when you won that award in 14. Last thought, the Lions. Your thoughts on the Lions as you have them next week in the Eagles opening game?
Oh, I know they're gonna be a tough team. Just looking at some of their hard knock stuff, I know they're gonna be really built on running that ball and trying to be real tough and being aggressive. So we know we got our hands full for that game, and that's the start of the season. So we're looking forward for the challenge and trying to get that win that first game.
Eagles open the season on the road next Sunday against the Detroit Lions, again in the 7th season as the defensive tackle, or one of defensive tackles for the Philadelphia Eagles, is Javon Hargrave, former 2-time Box to Row Willie Davis Defensive Player of the Year, Pro Bowler last year, as he joins us here on the program. Javon, always been a while, man. Always great to catch up with you. Good luck to you and the Eagles this season.
Man, I appreciate you, and it's always good to catch up with you too, man.
So hope you enjoyed that conversation with Javon Hargrave. And don't forget to tell a couple of friends about the HBCU Football Daily Podcast, where you can find the podcast Monday through Friday on our website at boxtorow.com. Also, you can find the podcast on iHeartMedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And now you can also watch the podcast on the Box to Row YouTube page. Talk with you tomorrow. So hope you enjoyed that conversation with Javon Hargrave. And don't forget to tell a couple of friends about the HBCU Football Daily Podcast, where you can find the podcast Monday through Friday on our website at boxtorow.com. Also, you can find the podcast on iHeartMedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And now you can also watch the podcast on the Box to Row YouTube page. Talk with you tomorrow.